I met a gentleman. His name is Naresh Dua, and he did a ride to from Hyderabad to Paris on a Java in 1960s. And he said to me,
Talk about ride
"Yeah,
goals.
yeah, yeah." Hi, Siddhantan. Hi, Anshik.
Hi Asan, how are you? How's it going?
I'm fine. How are you? And
Good,
what's up?
good.
So why don't you tell us your journey of about getting into two strokes? How did you get into? There are very few people who are into two strokes right now.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Oh, is it? Which motorcycle do you have?
I have a 25-year-old RX 100.
Oh, bingo. Same here. Same here. The first motorcycle that I got it from my uncle, and that was the RX 100. So we have,
Beautiful.
the same. Yeah,
It's a mean machine.
yeah. And
So why don't you tell us about your whole entire thing? You have I've seen that you have a Java and you have RX 135.
yeah, I recently got the RX 135. Actually, I've had two RX 100s, but then recently I sold it just to get an RX 135.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
nice
So
man,
I've
nice.
yeah. So it all started with my uncle. Actually I did all my schooling till ninth grade in the Middle East. So when I
Okay.
used to come to
Right.
India during vacations, my uncle used to have an RX 100, and
Alright.
I used to go out with him. And Middle East, you don't go really on motorcycles. You just go into the cars, right? You don't have motorcycles.
Yeah,
You have
definitely.
super bikes there, and yeah. So you don't have general motorcycles like you have in India. They don't commute on motorcycles. So whenever I used to come to India, my mama used to take me out on RX 100, and I used to enjoy the sound of it, the beautiful exhaust note. That's the only thing
Yeah,
that made me, eager as a child. And every time he used to start the bike, he used to pull the choke, tank ke
yeah,
niche se haath dal ke, and he used to pull out the choke. And I was very intrigued with the way, he started the bike. It was like, kabhi bhi gaadi start karna hai, so you have to do something there. I didn't know what
yeah.
you have to do there, but I knew you have to do something there. And that way, I started loving that bike. And my mama had a couple of other bikes from the Yamaha. At that point of time in 2000s, early 2000s, Yamaha was selling Libero, Enticer,
Yeah,
all were four
Libero. Yeah.
strokes. Right, right. So all those other bike and RX 100 stood out from the all other bikes because of the sound for me.
Any day,
So
any day,
Okay.
definitely.
yeah, so I was a kid, but because of the sound, I used to distinguish between all the other motorcycles that my mama had. So that's one motorcycle that kept me looking for motorcycles that someday I want to own one. And at that point of time, I told him, if you when I grow up, I want this motorcycle. And he said yes, of course. And then I went to, I mean, that was in sixth or seventh standard. And then after in ninth standard, I came back to India. And then I
All right.
wanted an RX 100 in my 10th standard. Once I complete my 10th standard, but my parents were against the RX 100 because of the stories and the raw power and everything. They didn't want me to crash and end up having bad situations. So
Right.
that's when my family said, let's go for the Yamaha FZ. Why don't you go for the FZ?
Yeah.
So I said no. The first motorcycle I want it to be an RX 100. No matter what happens, I just want that to be an RX 100. So that's how it started. And in degree first year, I finally got my. I had to convince my uncle for the RX 100, and
All right.
at first he was not going to sell it to me. He's kept this bike for about 15 years,
All
so
right.
he was not ready to sell it to me. And then what I did was I went to a nearby mechanic, and he told me that there is an RX for 20,000 rupees. This is in 2013.
Okay.
So yeah, I just saw the bike and it was in pretty bad shape, but I wanted to restore it. So I just came to my uncle and I said, "Can you just give me the bike for one round? I just want to see how an RX 100 feels. If the bike that I'm going to pick has a lot of work to do, then I might skip to a better RX 100."
Better
So
version of it.
that's
Yeah.
when that's when he said कि चलो मैं रख रहा हूँ गाड़ी, it's not usable, I have kids and responsibilities, I'm not able to take it out much, why don't you take it? So that's when I was very happy. Actually my budget was about 20K, but
All right.
my uncle he quoted 30,000 for it. But even then, see, जो चीज से मोहब्बत होती वो चीज इसलिए तो बहुत different रहा. So it's
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the bike, that's the number 0717. That's the bike that started it all for me. And it's not about the money. Even if एक अलग attachment रहता हो sentimentally सही, but it's very different. So that's
Right.
when I realized कि I have to get this bike. And then I got it restored, and then it started. And slowly I got to know about Java, ESDs, and all the other two strokes. I didn't even know a difference between a two-stroke engine and a four-stroke engine back then. But slowly, gradually, once I got into the two-stroke motorcycles, till today, I just have one four-stroke that I recently got 1.5 year back, the Hero Impulse. So
All right.
yeah, all other bikes are two-strokes.
So the Hero Impulse. So why didn't you think up take up the X-Pulse option, which is already
Actually, I
in the market?
bought it before the X-Pulse launched. Yeah, and also I wanted a motorcycle that that was cheap on maintenance side. What happens is once you get into two strokes, everything seems
Yeah.
expensive to maintain.
Definitely. I
Yeah,
feel you.
it's yeah. It's very it's very expensive to maintain, and there are lots of parts in the four-stroke motorcycles.
Yeah.
Even for the electronics and everything, there are way too much parts. So
Okay.
So you
that's
worked on your
I'm,
RX 135. Anything performance mods or porting, polishing, getting
no,
upgraded CDI.
Yeah, I actually got the. Have you heard of the RDD CDI? The RD drills.
Yes.
Yeah, I recently got the CDI. Yeah, so
All
it's
right,
in the process
that's
of
amazing.
yeah.
So you've done all the work yourself. I mean, you've done it yourself. All the upgrades and all.
No. Actually, I have a friend who did the RDD CDI. He has it. I guess he installed it some years back. His name is
Okay.
Anand. So I'm getting his help to install the RD CDI.
Okay, so I've heard there are a lot of rumors out there that the RX 135 has a boost bottle, I guess, right?
Yeah, right.
So people are trying to
Power
get
box.
the power box. They're trying to get it into the RX 100 as well, but it is not that performance oriented. So what do you think? What is your take? Because since RX 100 is a smaller engine, so what's your take
Yeah.
on it?
I actually happened to install the power box, the 135 on my RX 100 some years back, but then the
Okay.
bike was not, performing as I wanted it to. So
Okay.
that's when I switched back to the stock one. I mean, without the power box. So I guess that has to do with the engine, overall engine. It's not just the power box. When you can add
Yeah.
on an RX 100 and you can expect it to work better. I guess they
Yeah.
when the engineers they designed it with the power box in mind, and then everything was calculated
Definitely.
according. Yeah. So
Yeah.
some people say that it works on the RX 100, but I didn't see quite a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, the same experiences. I also tried to get it on the RX 100 boost bottle, but then it didn't work on the RX 100. I mean, it
Yeah.
kind of did, but then my engine started overheating. There were XYZ problems with it. I almost blew a head gasket as well. So it's a common thing with this thing. Oh, now
Yeah.
coming back to this, there's this thing just came up to my mind. Since you ride a Java, and you've been riding a Java for a longer time now, do you
Yeah.
have anything that you might shift on to the Royal Enfield? The Royal Enfield is even trying to push out the new bike, which is the 350 Meteor, I guess.
Meteor, right? No,
Yeah.
I actually, I have the Royal Enfield in my wish list, and that's the 60s model. That beautiful mud guards and the overall engine
Yeah.
look. I mean, that's more
So are we
into
talking about
yeah,
the left hand side gear switching?
yeah,
No, sorry, the
exactly.
right hand side gear switching.
Right
Sorry.
side, yeah, and the
Yeah.
left brake. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I love more about the Royal Enfield, and even the old Constellation and the old Meteor. The Meteor was actually, I guess, 700 cc's. It was a twin,
Yeah.
but now they are bringing the single cylinder 350 Meteor. So
Yeah, they are.
yeah. So
So what's your
that's
take
the
on
thing.
it?
I just have seen the Meteor, in photos, and honestly speaking, I like the new Interceptor, but I don't like
Interceptor is
any other
beautiful.
motorcycle. Yeah, it's very beautiful and very beautiful
Yeah.
engine. Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
beautiful as
definitely.
well. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
staying on bikes itself, and talking about wish lists, a lot of people have Harley Davidson on their wish lists as well. I mean, you talk to a lot of guys, and they say, okay, Harley Davidson is something that we need to have in our arsenal. Now that Harley Davidson's going to be in India with the partnership with Hero and everything,
Yeah, Hero.
is there something that sort of piques you about that whole thing? That okay, you know what? Harley Davidson with this partnership is actually a good thing for us bike enthusiasts, and it's something that can actually make Harley Davidson, I would say, more affordable to people, because that's the thing, right? People don't really go into that because of the price point. But do you think it's a good thing for the Indian biking community?
Yeah, it might be, but only time will tell. Because I had high hopes with the new Java as well when it
Hmm.
was launching in India, but it didn't go that well.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the thing. Once the partnership gets in properly. I mean, when they start designing the motorcycles and then unveiling it, that's when we can actually think about it. I've seen the memes on the internet. People with the Hero and Harley Davidson, they say fat Splendor, flat fat boy plus Splendor.
Yeah.
It would look something cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm waiting for it. I mean, it's better to get a affordable version of Harley Davidson if it comes. But I'm not sure how Hero doesn't have good experience with high performance engines. I mean, not high performance engines, the bigger engines.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
recently made the 200 cc engine, so I'm not sure how well they'll be taking care of the service and the designing and everything. I mean, with
Fair enough.
Hero.
Fair
Yep.
point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes more sense. But because that's the thing. A lot of people, I mean, especially in India itself, when I was there and just interact with people who had Harley Davidsons, they would always complain about the maintenance costs and the inability to find a good maintenance provider, especially an official one. And I guess that's a big concern that you sort of touched upon, that how would they sort of tackle it. So that'll be interesting to look into.
But
um
won't it be better since Hero is, getting a partnership with them, and Hero has existing the service centers and all on a larger scale? So I think won't it be better that they might have a larger scale service centers for Harley Davidson itself
Yeah,
along
that
with
that
the
would be a
Hero?
plus point.
Yeah, I think it should be a better plus point for them,
Yes, exactly.
but they have to set the entire this thing also.
Yeah,
What do
they
you
have
call
to
it?
train their engineers as well.
Exactly.
Uh, yeah,
but I'm going
So
to ask you, so for a lot of people, obviously a lot of people don't know this. When I spoke to Hassan for the first time on call, the biggest discussion that we had was around how the bike, you should see the bike as a gateway to a better experience, rather than looking at the price tag, rather than looking at the model and everything. And that was something that was really remarkable, because that is something that people have forgotten now, because people are spending so much just to get that experience, and they can get the same experience on, as you mentioned in the call, a Splendor as well.
yeah,
So talk to me more about that. I think that is something which is a really interesting thing, because obviously I'm pretty sure you're bombarded with questions about, oh, which is the best bike under this range, what can I do with this, what can I do with that. So just sort of touch up upon that particular bit.
yeah. So from the past 2 3 years, I've been getting a lot of requests. I mean, people asking me which motorcycle do I get, the RX 100 or the RX 135 or Java or Road King? Which one should I buy if I'm going on long rides or tours? So what I suggest them is that you ride a bike and then decide for yourself. Any bike you can go on any bike. See, like we discussed on the call, you can take an XL, TVS XL, you can take a Scooty, you can take an Activa, you can take it anywhere in the world. It depends on the rider who rides the motorcycle or the scooter. It's not the bike
yeah,
that takes you places. So that's what I
definitely.
believe in. And I've seen people, people have taken like we spoke on the call, M80s, Bajaj M80s. They've taken
Yeah.
Lambretta, you know
Yeah.
and it's very difficult to ride those bikes in the Himalayas, especially with
Yeah.
that kind of terrain and the atmosphere. It's very difficult to ride these bikes, but they have taken it, and multiple times. It's not just two people have taken two bikes. It's not like that. There are hundreds of people who have done rides on whatever they have. So what I want to convey is, you don't have to wait for your dream. I've seen people whose parents are not that rich enough, and they're sad that they cannot afford an adventure bike to go adventure riding. So my point
Yeah.
is, you don't need an adventure bike. You don't need rich parents. You don't need to be rich. You don't need anything. you can ride on basically what you have in your house. So if you have a
That's it.
Splendor, you can you can explore the world on it. It has nothing to do with the CC, and you're not going to feel something different. If you're going on a 12 lakh bike, you're going on the same road. You don't have a separate road for it. You're going on the
Yeah.
same road. It's just that you'll reach slower than them. That's it.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
yeah, but then I'm pretty sure that a lot of people would listen. Once they listen to this, they would be like, "But doesn't a better bike make for a better experience?" What would
No,
you
what
sort
I'm
of
saying is,
say to
if you
them?
have the money, yeah, if you
Hmm.
have the money, you should go for it. But
Yeah,
those
that's well
people,
and good.
in India, we don't have, and not everyone is rich. Now, for example, I cannot go and buy a 5 lakh bike. I don't even have that money in my bank right now. So, for people like me, if I start to think that if I have a very good bike, a big bike, only then I can go to the, Himalayas or to any part of the world just to experience and ride. So that's where I'm losing the whole, fun part of it.
Hmm.
I should slowly at least start with my Splendor or my RX 100. I should start with the lower bike, and then slowly, as I earn money, as I progress with the riding skills and everything. See, what I've seen is many people, they don't even have the riding skills after getting a bike. You can buy a bike, but you cannot buy the skills. Even I'm not, that much of a good motorcycle rider. Even I'm still learning. So it's a whole, the whole life is about learning and experiences. So that's my take on it.
Right. No, definitely fascinating.
Coming back to your riding career and the entire riding scene, and you must have been to long rides, you must have been to some crazy rides. So why don't you tell us about one of the craziest stories on your rides, since you've been on different rides and since you've been to different places, have had different experiences.
Yeah. So there is a place here called Somasila Island. It's not very famous here. It's about 200 kilometers from Hyderabad. And
Right.
I took my Java and a couple of friends, one NS200, one Hero Impulse, and a Yamaha RXZ. Now, this is actually the most terrifying ride, you can say. It was very I mean, in terms of we couldn't sleep, and we didn't have the RXZ actually. While going about 50 kilo after completing 50 kilometers, the bike suddenly turned off, and it made a slight noise that I felt it was from the piston. The piston ring
Okay.
just gave off. So
Oh my God.
it just he was about the biker friend who was whose name is Hisham. He just crossed the speed breaker and he was just beside me, and we were not even on 100. We were just 50 or 60 kilometer per hour speed, and suddenly the noise came and the bike turned off, and we took the bike aside, and we had 2T oil and everything. We used the injection to put the oil into the piston, and then we started troubleshooting why it's not starting and everything. And then after about 2-3 hours, we couldn't find anything. It was not starting. The compression was gone. That's when we towed the bike from the 50. We had to tow it 150 kilometers more to the destination.
Damn.
Yeah. So the plan was to reach by it was just 200 kilometers. So we started about 5 a.m. and we planned to reach by there by 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. and chill till the evening, and then we'll have something, and then we'll sleep. That was the plan, and then we'll start again in the morning. And by the time we towed the bike and we went to the hotel, it was 7 in the evening. And
All right.
after reaching the destination, they said they don't have any rooms. So
Oh.
there were, yeah. So that's when we requested them कि भाई एक room दे दो, पूरे रह जाते, 5-6 लोग थे हम लोग. And they said they don't have any rooms, but we requested them and they said okay, we have a staff room जिसमें हम लोग के staff उतने लोग रहते हैं. We said
Okay.
okay, बस दे
So
दो.
you stay there.
Yeah, so we stayed in the staff room. It didn't even have any pillows. It had only one mattress, and everything was very dirty. But we just had a place to crash for the night. And again in the morning, when we started back, that's when we started the bike. After towing for about 60 to 70 kilometer speed, we tried to start in the gear.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we engaged in second gear and we started the bike, and suddenly it started. So the problem with the bike was as soon as you go below 60 or 70, the bike would turn off. That's when it
Okay.
was losing its compression.
Okay, all
So
right.
if you ride it for 80-90 kilometer per hour speed, you can ride it normally. So what we did was I told my other friends, you come behind me, and my another friend Sohail, his name is Sohail, and we both were riding the bike simultaneously. So we and in the middle of it, it started raining. Now when you're going through the villages, you have very narrow roads, and
Yeah.
the rain had puddles everywhere, so we couldn't see where there was a road and everything. And we were just riding by, and I could see the meter. If it goes below 80, the bike would turn off again, and then we have to tow it to 80 to start it again.
Oh my
So
God.
that's when I was just standing on the bike and I was just riding it. Every speed breaker, every pothole, I was just just going through it. So that's the
Damn,
most.
man.
I mean, I have never ridden a bike, in that kind of environment. I mean, I've never abused a bike like that in that day. So that's when we came back to Hyderabad, and we once we opened the piston. I have a photo. I'll share it with you. The piston is such in a bad shape. All the rings have scratched the whole piston. So we had
Oh
to
my God.
actually the piston broke while we came on the way back to Hyderabad. So
Oh
that
my
was the most memorable ride. I have the piston as a souvenir of the ride. So that's the
This
most
ride has
memorable
to be
one.
memorable. This has to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
memorable. So, what
yeah.
do you suggest for every, like, even now we are planning to go on a ride to Darjeeling in next month itself. So, what do you suggest us, we guys, what all should you carry? What all the handy tools that you should carry, or if for anyone, not just for us, for anyone, what are the major handy tools that you should carry? Like, it can be a clutch cable, it can be a throttle cable, it can be anything.
Yeah.
What you
Actually, I
you
have
usually
the
carry?
Yeah, what I do is actually I have whenever I ride, I have a couple of friends with me. So everyone rides a different motorcycle. If, for example, if I'm riding the RX, my friend would bring a Java. So what I do is I have a Hero Impulse clutch cable in my tank bag, and Hero RX 100 clutch cable, and the Java clutch cable. So I have three clutch cables: Hero Impulse, Java, and RX. So what I do is have the clutch cables. But if you're going on a long ride, I would suggest you to keep the accelerator cable as well. If you're
Yeah.
riding an old bike, if the bike is new, I don't think you would need accelerator cable. But if you have an old bike, that you've changed the clutch cable years back, then I would
Yeah.
suggest you keep the clutch cable, accelerator cable with you. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
and
clutch cable is definitely useful to carry
yes,
because you engage, disengage so often. You have to carry a clutch cable with you. That's
yeah,
correct. Yeah.
yeah,
But are you
and then
suggesting? Sorry for the interruption.
yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
No, no, sure.
No, I
Go
was
ahead.
I was actually coming at, so since you were saying that whenever you go on trips, you have your friends who have different bikes on. Are you recommending that it's better? Is it advisable for people to not go alone by themselves? Because
No,
a
no,
lot
no,
of people have that
No,
thing that
no.
अकेले जाएंगे, and it's all that it'll be a
That's
soul
a
searching
biker's
moment or
dream.
something. But
Every
is that
biker has
advisable?
one dream.
yeah.
I want to go on a ride at least once, a solo ride. That's a dream of every biker, I feel.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Is that
And
advisable?
what I would suggest is it's not. Yeah. No, no, no. I'm not saying you don't have to go solo riding. Solo riding is one of the. See, you cannot compare group rides and solo rides. Even if you're riding
Hmm.
with your friends, the experience is no total. It's in a total different level. So I recently did last year. I did a ride on my RX 100 to Goa for IBW. So that's when I did a solo ride with my wife as a pillion. So
Okay.
it's advisable for you to go on solo rides, but it's better to start with at least one person. You should have at least two bikes. If anything goes wrong, you can tow with the other bike. So that's when you
Hmm.
can get help. And once you learn about the bike, that's when you can go solo riding. And if you're going for a 500-kilometer ride, solo ride, that would be fine. I wouldn't feel you don't need any experience for that. But if you're going on a ride that's more than like 1,000 kilometers, that's when you need some experience, or at least you need to understand your bike. If anything
Yeah.
goes wrong with your bike, you need to you should at least fix it.
Yeah, you should be able to rectify whatever is happening to the
Yeah,
bike under it. Yeah,
yeah.
that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, but then if I were to open, suppose one of your tour bags, and
Mhm.
some of the essentials that you mentioned. Besides that, some of the regular essentials that have been really useful for you, what are some of those? Because that's one of the things that I've seen people actually look up, that okay, what are the some of the essentials that we should carry besides everything that you mentioned. So
Mhm.
some people recommend a Swiss knife, some people obviously recommend nowadays a power bank and everything. But what's your
Yeah,
take?
right.
What are some of your essentials?
I actually have lots of tools in my tank bag.
Okay.
So 50% of the tank bag, I have only the tools. So I'm trying to, reduce the number of tools I carry on every ride. I'm slowly, understanding my motorcycles better. And what I do is, if, for example, if I'm going on the Java, I'll remove all the tools and I'll only add the tools that are only work. I mean, that I need for Java. So
Okay.
if
Yeah.
yeah, so if I have a bigger spanners that are not usable on Java, I won't take it. So that way
Yeah.
I customize all the tools for the ride, and then I'll choose that for opening the tires and everything, the stepney, the rear tire and the front tire. I'll just check with the spanners which are fitting, and I only keep those in the bag. And apart from that, raincoat, rain cover, the top, the trouser, I mean the bottom and the top, that is also very useful. Even if it's not raining, if you're feeling cold and if you don't have a jacket, you can at least wear it, and it will stop the wind from going inside because it's waterproof.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I've seen a very interesting thing in one of your rides on your Java, is that you carry I've seen people carrying tires, just the tires. I
Yeah,
haven't seen people carrying the entire rim.
yeah,
That I've noticed in your Java, and I
yeah,
really want to know, like, how do you manage that? Because the carrying a tire is fine. You can just stick onto the tank, and that's fine. But
yeah.
you carrying an entire rim, why carry an entire rim when you can just carry uh, a couple of tires with you?
Yeah. So for the thing with Java is that Java has 325/16 size tire on the
Yeah.
front and on the rear as well. So
Okay.
that's the benefit of carrying a stepney. Now what happens is, this is not something that I've done. This is, this was done in I guess 1960s. I
Okay.
met a gentleman. His name is Naresh Dua, and he did a ride from Hyderabad to Paris on a Java in 1960s. And he said to me,
Talk about ride
yeah,
goals.
yeah. And he said to me that he was the one who started the fitting the entire stepney on the front frame of the Java. So it goes back to
Oh my
1960s.
god!
So
So you had to make
yeah,
some adjustments, or did the Java come with the adjustment that you can fix on a rim to it, or did you
uh,
make a different?
yeah. Actually, the mount is a custom mount, but the space between the fork and the frame is
Yeah.
it's too wide. No other bike
Okay.
has that much gap in it. You cannot fit
Yeah.
you cannot even fit a normal tire without a rim inside an RX 100 or anything like that. But with the
Yeah. Yeah.
Java, the fork is very long, and it's very the gap is too much. So actually, you can accommodate the whole stepney in it, and then you have a half axle, the half axle
Yeah.
that you use in mounting the tires, right? That has been modified to it has the threads on it, so it's about an index finger size, and you can just fit the whole mount is actually fixed on the engine mounts, on the
Okay.
four bolts of the engine. There is the mount of the stepney. So what you do is, you just have to, if you have a puncture, you can just remove the tire with the axle, and it has an Allen key bolt. So
Okay.
you just have to unbolt it, put the tire, put the puncture tire on the frame, and then you can just start back riding.
That's actually a
So
great idea, man. That's actually a
yeah,
great idea.
That's really
yeah,
Instead
nifty.
of fixing the puncture, you can just
Yeah,
yeah.
slap on another tire. Yeah.
that
We
makes
should
a
we
lot
should
of
try it.
sense. Yeah, but then speaking of motorcycles and everything, I want to actually talk a bit about your YouTube channel. So Hassan runs a very successful YouTube channel by the name of Moto Soul. It's all in the description. Please check it out if you haven't, which is highly unlikely because if you are a bike enthusiast, you would have. So talk to me about that. How did that come about? What was the process like to creating something like that? Because that's something, obviously, judging by the numbers and everything, and the sort of comments that you get, it's very it's very well received. People get really useful information, just like we did in the past couple of minutes that we spoke to you. So how did that entire thing come about?
First of all, thank you so much. And it started in 2014 when I was looking for videos. I
Okay.
wanted to see motorcycles from India. Now,
All right.
if you happen to see all the vintage motorcycles that we had, BSA, Norton, and Javas and Yamaha, Suzuki's, all those powerful machines are no longer on the roads. I mean, RX100 you can find it everywhere on OLX, but the powerful machines like the RD350, you have other
Yeah.
motorcycles as well. So those motorcycles you are not able to see on even on YouTube. You don't even know if they exist in India. So I actually, suggested some people to start a YouTube channel. Just post your motorcycle videos, so the future generation can hear the motorcycle, know about a motorcycle that existed in India. So that's when I, realized that people are, not that into making videos. So I wanted to pay a tribute to all these beautiful motorcycles that uh, uh, our fathers and grandfathers have ridden. So that's where I started a YouTube channel just to pay a tribute to the new old motorcycles. We have YouTube channels for new motorcycles. Everyone
Right.
has a channel nowadays, but even I don't upload regularly. I plan to do that, but it's not happening. So that's the thing. Yeah. So I started it just to keep the future generation, at least कुछ तो रहना अपने future generation को कि भाई कभी जावा मारे तो असली जावा कैसे रहती है देखने के लिए. So that's
Precisely.
That's true. That's a really inspirational thing to do. I mean, there are people out there who barely know. I mean, I have my own friends out there who barely know about these bikes that you talked about. So that's a really good thing to do. I mean, people have the mindset that, okay, we want to make a YouTube channel for biking. We strap on a GoPro on our heads and just ride on. But you have a purpose of doing it. That's a really nice thing.
yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
but now that with people are sort of starting to get into it, and बहुत उनमें होता है, a lot of new kids, they say that we want to actually make content on this because we feel that we have a story to tell. What advice would you give to someone who's starting off on YouTube or maybe any other platform for that matter?
See, as long as you feel, if you feel happy while doing anything, be it taking photos or creating videos or riding motorcycles, I would say just do it. Don't listen to anyone, and don't go by anyone's advice. Now, if I say you don't need to start a YouTube channel, I'm not anyone to stop you from making anything. I mean, if it makes you happy, you should do it. That's my whole thing. I would say anyone to start a motorcycle, any YouTube channel or any Facebook page or Instagram page, but if it makes you happy, do it for yourself, do it for your own satisfaction, not for the numbers. Most of the time, people start YouTube channels just because they want to see the numbers grow. Now
Right.
what happens is once they start the YouTube channels, the channels would not skyrocket. You won't get skyrocketed views, and you won't become a 1 million view member, right? So that's
Right.
the whole point. Now if you lose hope in that, and you stop making videos saying that no, I've lost the passion, that's not the whole point. Actually, some people are actually the new people who are starting YouTube channels. They just want fame. They're looking for fame.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
I would say is, if you do something that you love, you'll get fame anyways. कैसा भी मिलता भाई, आप खाली आपकी चीज करो, उसके बाद देखो आप खुद ना खुद होता, कुछ ना कुछ होता.
Yeah. That's
बिल्कुल.
very true. That's very true.
Bilkul. Because we get messages about when to answer a lot of questions, and in fact one of our mutual followers is how we got connected. So again, that's one of the things, when you are solving problems for people, I think that's much more beneficial than just chasing fame, because fame का भी एक वो होता ही है ना, but then you can always solve problems and make someone else's life better.
Yeah.
Well, Hassan, it's been a pleasure talking to you. It was a really nice session, and we are very grateful that you took your time to come on our podcast. We are extremely grateful for it.
Yeah, and
So
I'll definitely hit you up once, because since we are into the whole RX game, I'll definitely hit you up about getting the parts and all, because I'm
Yeah.
trying so hard to get an engine. If you have any
Okay.
contacts, just let me know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get an
Okay.
135 engine.
Okay.
And I
We'll
think
get that.
that's
That'll
for
be great.
everyone. If you want to know about biking, RX-100s, Javas, Hassan is the man right there. So, Hassan, just to make things easier, can you just give out your social media handles for people to reach out to you and find your content and everything?
Yeah, sure. You can get in touch with me on Instagram. My username is Hassan Elias, HASSANELYAS, and you can also check out the YouTube channel. You can get all the social network links there as well. So the YouTube channel is Moto Soul, and thanks for having me, Anshik and Siddhant. I'm so happy to be a part of you guys, and hope to ride with you guys soon.
Definitely,
We look
definitely, for sure.
forward to it. We look forward to it. And a shout out to our mutual follower. He goes by the name of Riva. Thank you so much for connecting us again, because
Yeah, thank you, Riva.
he pursued us and he was after us that, get him on. You should get him on. And we are grateful for his advice, and we are grateful for
Same
this
here,
session with you
same here.
guys with you as well.
It's been amazing. I don't even know how much time it's been. I mean, oh my God, 37 minutes. I thought it was just about 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't know we've crossed 35 minutes. So it was very
Same
happy to talk to you. And when you
Same
guys
here.
come back, Siddhant, where do you live?
I'm based out of Chennai, but right now I'm back home in Calcutta. But I do come to Hyderabad very often, at least once a year.
Okay.
You must have heard about the Area 56 Motorsport. It is on the
Right,
outskirts
yeah.
of Hyderabad. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do come there every year.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll come. I should be coming there on, I guess, on March next year. So I'll definitely
Okay,
meet
hit
you.
me
there.
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Anshik, whenever you're back in Hyderabad, let me know. Biryani और चाय जाके अपन साथ खाएंगे.
बिल्कुल मैं बस वहीं आ रहा हूँ. मैं फ्लाइट हैदराबाद ही आऊंगा मैं डायरेक्ट. एंड बिरयानी चाय इज व्हाट आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू. आपके साथ बैठ के आराम से खाएंगे एंड आपकी बाइक पे ही राइड पे जाएंगे और
हाँ,
किसी के
पूरे मिलके जाएंगे.
This has been
बट
a
थैंक यू
great
सो
time
मच
with you.
Hasan. Thank you so much. It's been
You're
Thank you
most
so
welcome.
much.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
no worry. Have a good
Bye-bye.
night. Bye.
Bye. Bye.